Hello and welcome to Newbury Whirlings. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of April 2020. Thanks for joining me. Paulie in Dublin with XTV and 12 degrees here in Dublin. Nice clear day. And thanks to everybody for joining me. We can see the almighty San Fran Valley Muppets didn't like the video yesterday. Couldn't upload it. And then eventually I discovered when I switched off and switched back on the Wi-Fi connection at home, I'm greeted by Virgin Media G5 for the first time as my provider. Now this obviously just happened overnight because I wasn't there, yesterday morning. Now thanks Johnny for one of the messages that sent down from Donegal telling me that his mother was brought to the hospital. He brought her to the hospital recently and the hospital was empty. And he wants to know, he says the hospitals are overrun. I don't think so. How many red flags do you need, ladies and gents? That's why you have to stay away from the hospitals and the old folks. Because the exercise would unravel. Remember, if you're one of the lucky ones and you're listening to this message today and you don't feel sick, you don't need any vax. Now Google the word healthy and then go in and watch the virologists. Now Leo, our leader, was caught slagging off the 19 the other day and he didn't realise the girl behind him was a reporter. So Leo, the question today from Paulie, as a small island, is the 19 going to blow away like the next storm? Considering Iceland and Sweden should be on their knees. But there's nothing about that. Let's go on. Why are mainstream Muppets MSM going to report from Sweden? No propaganda. Sure, it's WW3 with America and curry sauce and noodles and number 24 off the China Garden menu. Don't mention the military Wuhan games. And you have to go in and watch all this to join up all the dots because we didn't just end up here. And you have a lot of flashbacks with the CERN opening ceremony. All of a sudden the number 666 and 333 springs to mind, ladies and gents. As Angela now has a high-speed train taking her to the middle of the collider. But we'll keep that for another show, eh? Anyway, more news. Thailand was lying about the bio numbers, ladies and gents. Isn't it mad? It's like watching the 2020 version of that film Pinocchio with Pence behind Trump. Yeah, and the WHO is on the strings, owned by the gates of hell, ladies and gentlemen. Dot to dot. For the awake adults is what we're playing today on Wednesday. Anyway, I hope he wins Best Actor for pretending to be a doctor at the 2020 Oscars. Dr. Stavros. And the new movie, it's a classic. It's called 5W. The Miracle from the Beach. Who, where, when, why, what. Starring Stavros as a poor down and out walking along the beach. When he finds a lamp, he rubs the lamp and a genie pops out and says, "No, I'm not your typical genie. I just do 5Ws. Stavros asked, "What's 5W? Is it like Paulie in Dublin's G5? The genie says, "Who's Paulie?" Stavros says, "Ask Google." The genie says, "Who's Google?" Anyway, long story. The genie explains 5W. Next, the genie flicks his fingers and Stavros is in a suit in the middle of a meeting, which he is heading. He turns around and sees a big sign on the wall saying WHO. And who's sitting beside him? Mr. Egan. So we can work out how he got there. That movie is up for Best Academy Award for Best Actor. Anyway, moving to Asia. Unfortunately, the Asian people are not very good in certain parts with numbers. A bit like the WHO. Doctor Who. Not even a doctor. So now the gates of hell calls the Clinton Foundation to discuss a vax. Can you hear that? That's the sound of alarm bells going off. Now, hands up, who's getting into line first? Do you like that? WHO. Listen to the numbers. More people died up to mid-April 2019 from COVID flu, also in Asia. Anyone? Keep the sheep eating the grass while the transport gets into position on the farm to take the poor sheep to the slaughterhouse. Nothing to see here. No, nothing to see here. So I see we have a new thumbs down viewer in the family. What were you expecting? David Attenborough? Star Wars? No, you got a budget Dark Vader. Now doing the Grim Reaper, called Paulie from Dublin. Yes, Luke. I am your father. Rise. Remember, it's written in the stars, ladies and gents that watch these videos, the lucky ones. Revelations, we're in Revelation 12. As Michael, our sub, says, people forget the 12 commandments. Humanity's in a position and they wonder why today. Notre Dame has predicted this. The Fatima children, the Pope, never a straight answer. The movies, the government and TV have told you, but you wouldn't listen. Greed took over and the poor got pushed or walked over. The Almighty will put each and every one on the planet. They'll give everybody a lifetime experience to experience the life of the poor. You will rise and fall, and some may never get back up again. We can call it whatever we want to call it today. Remember, it is foretold that these plagues would ravage civilization. Acts of God are called that for a reason, ladies and gents. And when we lose full control, we lose dignity. And that's why artificial intelligence is here. It never loses control. If after several weeks under lockdown, you've exhausted the books in your library and the content watching Netflix every day. Last night, they decided to give us a meteor shower. And if you had looked up last night, you would have seen Comet, Thatcher, 1961, G1. And you'd see 20 shooting stars per hour. But folks, it doesn't happen like that because the, let's say the cargo airplanes were working hard. And I hope everybody can join me today and watch the video. And thanks to everybody again for staying in touch. And if you're watching the virtual television up here in the corner, you'll also see certain things in the background like OR 1998 that you can go in and study. Now, we get near-Earth objects passing by us every day. Sometimes they're huge, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're millions of miles away, sometimes they're not. Now, people watch this video are probably like Paulie. They don't understand when they talk about AU miles and what that means, the distance from the Earth to the moon, from the moon to the sun. And you go in and study all this. I've been studying this for the last 4 years. I'm an expert on the internet, studying up different websites, studying up different doctors' reports, the virologists' reports that are up on the internet before any Ebola or any CV-19. Nothing like that. And all these reports that are being pumped out from the mainstream media, these news reporters are not reporters because they're not reporting the proper news. They report on the same thing that's being hypnotized to you, as I told everybody, on a daily basis. And most people that put the messages up know exactly what I'm trying to explain. And I put up all these messages in the video today, all about different asteroids that sort of come in. And there's one coming in called OR2. Yeah, I call it OR2. but it's 1998. OR 1998. Okay, and the situation with this one is that it just ties in that 19 is in the title and OR is in the word corona, and that's why we have to look at certain things. It's not this event. It was never the event. The Twin Towers, when they fell down, wasn't the event. The event happened in the Middle East, and the event is happening right now. The Twin Towers is happening right around the world as we speak. And millions of people are at home today watching these platforms. And they're sucked in by watching what's being given to them in the search menu. In fact, I think I told people yesterday, when you go in now and type in Nibiru Ireland, you can't even find it. It doesn't come up in the list. Because anybody with common sense knows quite well that BS, you're surrounded by it. MSM, you're surrounded by it. And if you want to sit in your house forever and you like being unemployed for the first time in your life, and you're watching everyone else become unemployed, and you notice that people are not driving their cars as much as they used to because they don't have the money for gas, petrol, diesel. It's all starting to add up now that these are stages. The whole thing of the CV19 is a stage to something else. Now, the crystal ball shows me. And going into a book called The Prophecies of Notre Dame, and we can all laugh about Notre Dame, and we can laugh about Einstein and Edison and everyone else, and these people that have invented and found cures, all these people that were laughed at, and prophets. Paulie not a prophet, but Paulie has studied the prophets and taken a little piece from each prophet, taking a piece from the guy that found the cure, or the guy that invented the telephone, and put it all together. Took a little bit from that mainstream news, and that, and that, and that, and that. Squeezed it all together. And then I got the answer. You don't need to be a fortune teller or a psychic. You just need to have common sense. Today's video is going to be called Common Sense. And as we come up to the last couple of minutes, as I said, thanks to everybody again for watching this video. And it's just an ordinary guy that puts a video together and says it from the heart. And I think about it now, what I'm going to put in tomorrow's video, Thursday. And I see what's going to happen. And I watch as they keep on dishing out the numbers. Now, to ordinary people at home that sit there listening to the ministers and the governments talking about pumping in 4 billion, 3 billion. Now, I don't think people really understand that when they start giving the numbers. And when they start giving out debt numbers, 50,000, 70,000, 90,000, you're trying to work that out like a football stadium of amount of people. Yeah, that amount of people just passed away. Still, the funerals don't seem to be adding up. The people that are on the internet talking about the deaths of their family are not adding up. And the wheels are falling off. So people are letting things slip. Now, as I said, you have all the information today. I'm coming up close to the end. Hope you enjoyed watching what's going on in the background. And it's XTV. So, ladies and gents, I'll just say see us tomorrow. You have the email address, and it's nibiruireland@gmail.com. nibiruireland@gmail.com. And the Grim Reaper here in Dublin will just like to remind everybody to be safe today. Safe, and be careful. Be careful. And I will see you all tomorrow. All the best. See ya.